What is up, guys? It's your girl Brand New, and I'm back in a motherfucking building. I am up recording, you guys. I am up recording. It is so much shit to talk about. I want to discuss this whole Monique situation. You guys know I am an advocate for Monique, not for the boycotting of Netflix, because I don't believe in telling people to boycott things that makes them happy and things they enjoy. Netflix is really popular right now. I know a lot of people, use it to watch shows and different movies. But I'm definitely here for her calling out Netflix on the racial and gender bias situation. And especially with Amy Schumer. The bitch is not funny at all. Like, I told you guys, I couldn't even get through her fucking comedy show. It was just horrible. I thought that she was funny in some movie, but it wasn't like, you know how you damn near laughing where like you almost about to pee. Those are the best laughs. It was never like that. It was like, okay. Anyways, let's check out Monique on The View. And I'm going to let them talk, and then if I have something to say, I'm going to just jump in there. I don't have any notes, so this is strictly off the dome, okay? Let's check it out.
And Monique is calling for a boycott of Netflix for gender and racial discrimination, saying she was offered a fraction of what other comics are being paid by the streaming network for comedy specials. Now, she's here to share her story with us today, so please welcome the fabulous Monique.
Now, first off, as soon as Monique comes out, she hugs Whoopi, very endearing hug. Monique looks so good, you guys. You guys remember how heavy Monique was at one point in her life, and when I tell you, she looks absolutely stunning. It's like the older she gets, the better she is aging. She is so beautiful to me, and I love Monique, you guys, because you're about to hear how well spoken she is.
So, Mo, Netflix offered you $500,000 for a comedy special.
Yes.
They reportedly gave Amy Schumer $13 million.
Yes.
Which the bitch didn't deserve, but let's continue.
Is your issue that Netflix offered Amy more than you, or that you feel they're discriminating against women or women of color? What exactly?
Well, the issue was when I first said, let's boycott Netflix, I said for gender bias and color bias. Mm-hmm. Because when Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle received their offers, they were $20 million, and they were very public about the offers. Mm-hmm. When Amy Schumer initially received her offer, it was $11 million. Mm-hmm. She went back to Netflix and said, I shouldn't get what the legends are getting, but because I'm a woman, I should get more. And Netflix agreed, and they then gave her $2 million more. Mm-hmm. That's where the $13 million comes.
And like I said, Amy Schumer don't fucking deserve that, but, like they're gonna say, oh, well, she did this and she did that, and who gives a flying fuck? Just like Omarosa said, and I stick by this is the case, you guys, in some situations, not in all, in some. And when I get on here talking about white people, this is how it is in certain situations with certain white people. They don't have to work as hard as us. They don't have to work as hard as us, and they don't even have to have the resume that we have, and they will get promoted. They will get all these opportunities, and it's not cool.
So in the discussion with Netflix, Robbie Prohl, who was vice president of comedy, when he was speaking with my husband Sidney and our attorney Ricky Anderson, they were saying, speaking in reference to the deal, and they wanted to know, how did you come up with that number? Mm-hmm. How is it that Monique gets paid $126 less than Amy Schumer would get paid? And Robbie Prohl said, well, we go by what we anticipate you'll do. Right. So then Sidney said, well, based off of Monique's resume, you see that what she's done. I know, but we don't go off of resumes. Mm-hmm. He said, well, then may I ask how you came up with Amy Schumer's number? He said, well, she sold out Madison Square Garden twice, and she had a hit movie in 2017.
Now, isn't that Amy Schumer's motherfucking resume? You know, and this is where the racial and gender bias comes from. You know, all these men are getting all this money, 20 million, you know, well, who was it? Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, they're getting all them millions. This black woman can't even get a fucking million. This white woman that's new and that's not even all that fucking funny, she gets to negotiate and still gets to get more. Well, she's popular now. Fuck that. Fuck that. Just because you don't have, like it, so if Monique had that Oscar out, this year, then now she would be significant. And they don't do this shit with black men. See, this is the issue I have with a lot of black men. They don't do this shit. If it's a Denzel, and I know we're talking about comedy, but let's say acting, for instance. Denzel, if he was to die today, he would still be fucking popular. He would still have made an impact on African American actresses and just people in general that admire his work ethic and what he does and the quality of his movies. He is a quality actor, you know. So we would never do that shit to a Denzel. We would never do that to a Michael Jordan. You know, even though Michael Jordan has retired from basketball, he still is fucking Michael Jordan. People are still, Jordan's is one of the most popular shoes ever. Matter of fact, you're lame if you don't fucking have a pair. You know, let's look at all of this when it comes to black men, and then with black women, we are, you guys, I just hate to say it, but it is what it is. We are at the bottom of the totem pole. This is so much bigger than the Monique situation. We are always at the bottom, and it just feels like our men aren't even defending us. There are women out here that don't even understand this. And with the Monique situation, a lot of people don't care about what Monique is saying because they don't even like her like that. They don't like her delivery. They probably don't like that she cusses a lot and speaks her mind. I understand that because I have people coming at me like that, making it look like, oh, I'm this bad person because I cuss and, you know, I have a strong opinion. It's just like, who are you? What do you have going for you? You know, I understand that also well. So let's hear some more of what she's saying.
Mm-hmm. Sydney then said, is that not Amy Schumer's resume? And then this was the response. Mm-hmm.
Radio silence.
It got dead silent. Mm-hmm. And then he said, we appreciate what you're trying to say. And then they said, well, because Sydney and Attorney Anderson said, well, what is your best offer? Mm-hmm. Robbie Prohl said, we'll go back and we'll meet with the team. And then we'll come back to you guys.
But Monique, when she sold out two full houses at Madison Square Garden, that means the girl can pull. It's all about asses in the seats.
I totally agree with you.
You know what I mean? So That's not her resume. That's what she drew.
Yes, I totally agree with you. And when you look at the resume of Monique, that's asses in the seats.
Oh, yeah. Well,
that's right, white woman. What the hell is this damn lady's name? What is her fucking name? I forgot her. Joy Behar, whatever. I don't really care for her, but, well, Amy, you know, Amy is not on fucking Monique's level, bitch. Stop playing and stop kidding yourself.
So it's not about the resume. It's about how many people you draw.
The point is, but it is also about the resume. Because what happens is our finish line keeps changing. And when I say that, Whoopi, as a black woman in Hollywood, see, initially you're told, build up your resume, and that's what'll get the money. Then you build up your resume, and then they'll say, well, you know what? We see the resume, but we'll get them the next time.
All right. And
you never meet your next time. Right. So when it comes to Netflix, and with Amy Schumer and Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock, and let me say this, what they got, they were supposed to. Mm-hmm. I don't have an issue with my sister Amy, nor my brother Dave and Chris. Mm-hmm. But when the vice president of Netflix says to my husband and our attorney, by the way, Monique is a legend too. Uh-huh. Well, if I'm a legend, why wouldn't I get what the legends are getting?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, we could just fucking stop right there and clap right there. That is exactly right. Even if you disagree with what Monique is saying, she makes an excellent point. Why isn't she even getting any millions? You know, why isn't she getting anything? And during this time, you guys, Whoopi is kind of looking at her funny. I have a love-hate relationship with Whoopi. I really do like Whoopi. I read her last book she had out. I think she's funny. I like her on this show. I think they need her on this show. She's like the Nene of the show, you know, that takes charge and is the boss and, you know, that type of situation. So I love Whoopi Goldberg's resume as far as her being an actress. But wasn't she with Ted Danson? Wasn't she, like, she's did some things, and she's going to mention some things in her interview that is a little suspect, and I'll just come back then and say what I'm going to say, but Whoopi gives me a vibe of, yeah, but you got to know how to play the game. You know, there is no playing of the fucking game. You know, it is what it is. You can only do what you can do. So let's get off into that. And I believe they're going to talk about that with the Oprah Lee Daniel situation.
Do you think they underestimated the power of the black dollar? Well, because you say you can fill those seats.
I know they underestimate the power of the black dollar. We see that in our movies, in the theaters that we're given.
Black
we
Panther,
see that
right now.
That it's, well, we
raking
see that,
it in, yeah.
and it's raking it in. And the question I would say is, that's not something that we don't do. Our movies do that when we're giving the proper opportunities.
Okay.
So when it comes to Netflix, and I have to go back to it, when you tell me that you are a legend, and we do know that Monique is great, and Monique is funny, then how do you offer me $12.5 million than you offer Amy Schumer, and $19.5 million that you offer two men that you say are legends?
Right.
But yes.
Monique, I'm sorry. We have to say that in a statement to ABC, Netflix says that they don't discuss contract negotiations. But that being said, Wanda Sykes actually came out in support of you, saying that Netflix offered her even half of what they offered you. So what was your reaction when you found that out?
Well, let me say this with Netflix, because...
And let me say something really quick about the Wanda Sykes. See, they offered Wanda Sykes less than Monique, $250,000. And when I'm looking at Monique and Wanda Sykes is more, she's not as urban as Monique. She's definitely has crossed over. Like, I know a lot of white people that like Wanda Sykes. So when I talk like this, you guys, I'm talking in terms of who's more universally appealing to everybody. And, you know, and Wanda Sykes would be more of that person. They offered her less than Monique. So that's how you know it's some fucking racial and gender bias. Because how is all these white women and even in the film industry, how are they getting these huge paydays and their motherfucking resumes are just like the black women? We had motherfucking Viola Davis just come out and say what she had to say. You know what I'm saying? About her being compared to she's like the black Meryl Streep, and she ain't even seeing the motherfucking money that Meryl Streep is getting. You know what I'm saying? She's not even seeing that money, you know, so it's just like they will sit up here and call you a legend, but they don't want to fucking pay you because you're black and you're a woman and you should just fucking take the crumbs that they fucking give you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just absolutely ridiculous. So this is how it is with Netflix. This is how it is in the world. I'm seeing even my own people are sitting up here going against this shit, not seeing this shit for what it is. It is racial and gender bias. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. And what a lot of people will try to do is, well, Monique is into it with Oprah and Lee Daniels and Tyler Perry. You know, she's into it, all these people. That's to deter you from what needs to be changed, which is the racial and gender bias. See, people will always try to, I don't know, just come up with some song or dance for you to focus on they want to get the focus off of what it really needs to be on, which is addressing these fucking issues in our communities. Not just this situation with Monique, but just on our everyday jobs. They want you to fucking focus on how Monique is into it with everybody. There's a conspiracy, and look at how she says things. They want you to focus on that. And Monique is saying the things that she's saying because of the anger, the hurt, and the frustration. I have been there when you're talking to people and nobody gets it. And you have to keep fucking explaining yourself. Okay, let's continue on, you guys.
They said they can't comment because they're in the middle of negotiations. There are no negotiations. Netflix came back and said, pretty much you take it or leave it. That's what it is, and we're not willing to negotiate it. When Wanda Sykes came out, I applauded that. And I understand why oftentimes you don't be the first one to come out. Yeah. Because it can be a scary place. But then when you know that Wanda Sykes is with the same agent as Dave Chappelle, as Chris Rock, as Amy Schumer, why was Wanda Sykes the only one offered $250,000?
Because of racial and gender bias. If Wanda Sykes, I bet my fucking money on it. If she was white, they would have gave her something in the millions. That's just what it is. She ain't the right race for them. And that's just what the fuck it is.
That is suspicious.
That is very suspicious.
Now, let me say something before. We don't have a lot of time. Because this is a more unpleasant question, but I want you to respond to it. Because there are people who think that it's because you have you have a difficult reputation, that you're a...
See, this is how we sidetrack the main issue. Do you see how we've been talking about this issue of Monique fighting for racial and gender bias issues, this whole situation with Netflix? See how Joy, the white woman, wants to bring up how, well, you have been difficult. See how we are escaping what we really need to talk about. With, she's about to bring up this bullshit about how Monique is difficult and she doesn't get along with anybody and she's the angry black woman. People do this shit all the time. Our own people even do this shit.
A troublemaker.
Yes.
That all started 8 years ago.
Yes.
So what do you say to that?
I say thank you for letting me speak on it.
That's why they didn't want to hire you.
And 8 years ago, I did a movie called Precious. Mm-hmm. And thank you, baby.
Very good.
And on that film, I received $50,000, and that was not my argument nor my fight because that's what I signed up for. Uh-huh. Once I did all of my obligations, my deal was with a man named Lee Daniels. I did all of my contractual obligations, and I was done. Then when I start getting calls from Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, and Lionsgate, and they wanted me to come work for free. They wanted me to go over to Cannes and promote this film internationally. Uh-huh. And I said to them, guys, my deal is with Lee Daniels, and I've done my job. Uh-huh. And they all agreed. Uh-huh. And this is what happens, in my humble opinion, when you don't go up to the hotel room. See, when I think about those women that said...
I'm going to stop you.
Okay.
I'm going to stop you.
Okay.
Because contractually...
Yes.
Okay, before I let Whoopi continue, Whoopi is giving Monique... these eyes of, I don't agree with what you're saying. And I'm not saying she has to sit up here and agree with everything she's saying, but Whoopi, out of you and everybody at the table, you should understand this the most. But Whoopi has a biracial child, okay? She has fucked, white men, Ted Danson, and I don't care what anybody says. When you do those type of things, you're going to be a bit biased. You're not really going to see this for what it is. You are, she's getting ready to defend these people and defend the situation of how Monique should have did it. But that's what Whoopi does. That's what she's did in her career. You had a baby with a white man. You was up here with Ted Danson and he was treating you like shit. I believe I read some shit back in the day where Ted Danson was saying all types of shit about black people, but you dated him. Did he dress up in blackface as well, you guys? I believe I saw that as well. I don't know if I could fully and you guys, I really like Whoopi. I do. And I do understand the part of her that is, she doesn't want to speak negatively about, Oprah, Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry. She may be cool with these people and she wants to be neutral and make sure that, I don't know. I guess make sure she's still cool with them, for herself. But at the same time, let Monique tell her experience. Let her say what she needs to say. See, everybody is not going to kiss the white man's ass. And are you saying, you probably say, well, Brandy, are you saying, I do believe Whoopi has kissed some white people's ass. You had a baby with one. You was with that Ted Danson, all the shit that he did, and just a lot of things she's did in her career has looked suspect to me. So let's finish out what she's saying, you guys.
When you make a movie, regardless of who you signed the deal with,
yes,
your job is to go and promote said movie.
Yes,
no. But so when they wanted you to come, and we've had this conversation, and I said, if you had called me,
and if she called you, what, Whoopi? What? So she can agree to do some shit that's gonna take her away from her baby? She was already on tour and doing the Monique show. So go kiss these white people's ass. Go kiss Oprah and Lee and Tyler Perry. And let me tell you, you guys, I believe Monique, because I'm gonna tell you like this. When you have people in power, they expect for you to never tell them no. Hell, I've dealt with men that thought that I was supposed to say yes to everything they wanted me to do in a relationship. So you have people, white people, some black people, that's in power that feel like, oh, well, you need to kiss their ass to get to where you want to be in the world. And then Whoopi is like, well, when you do a movie, it is your job to promote. If she fulfilled her fucking contract, she doesn't owe them shit else. They can be told no. Don't nobody care if it's Oprah, Lee, Tyler, who the fuck ever. She didn't already did everything in the States. So the fuck what? Have the other people in the cast do it. They pulled this bullshit. Did she win that fucking Oscar? After this? It seemed like they're acting like, oh, you got the Oscar and so let's tap dance a little bit more for these people. No. If she fulfilled her fucking contract, then it's a wrap. It's done. I'm sick of that shit. I've had people, I told you guys, at the jobs I've worked at, they don't never want to pay you more, which in this situation, they didn't want to pay Monique, for doing the extra promoting. They didn't want to do that. They wanted her to do this shit for free. And that's what people will do at these jobs. They want to get more and more out of you. That way you feel like a slave and you done been there 20, 40 fucking years being treated like a dog. And you may have some shit you need to do with your family, such as go out of town, go out to eat, like basic shit. But no, the job will say, well, no, and this is the last job I was at. This is what these motherfuckers tried to tell me. Well, this is the job you chose. That was their word. You chose to work here, so you gotta do. No, I don't. I bet I don't. You can tell people no, and they need to understand it. But that's what people do, and they feel like they're better than you. They feel like you gotta go along with everything they fucking say just because they said it.
Could have schooled you on what was expected.
You hear Whoopi, I could have schooled you. This is a lady that has fucked a white man and had a mixed baby with him. The one that was with Ted Danson, and she probably didn't been mixed up with some more white people. So she's used to doing what the white man tells her to do. She's used to compromising herself. She's used to not living in her truth. Okay? Now, I'm not coming for people that have had babies with white people. That's not what this is about. So I don't want you guys to get offended. But we need to pay attention at the choices and decisions that people make. Because your choices and decisions are you. and how you think. And Whoopi, you can't school Monique on shit because she speaks way more truth than you ever will. Okay? I believe in your career you have compromised. No, you're not like Monique and you don't speak out. Well, you do speak out, but you don't come in the manner that she does. But so she's wrong because this is her experience. This is her opinion. What could you have schooled her on? All Monique's kids are by black men. She's used to being with the black man. Meanwhile, you didn't had a baby with a white man, which is fine. That's what you chose to do. But you've also dated white men. And so with that, I don't think you just dated these white men just off of love. You probably thought, because there are a lot of black people out here, you guys, and I'm not being funny, but there are a lot of black people that feel like, oh, if I have my child with somebody white, my child to come out light, my child to have some good hair, my child to be smart. There are a lot of black people out here that think that if somebody white is in their business, in their bed, oh, I'm going to have a better life. This is the better way to play the game. You know, when really that's not who you are truthfully. Okay? See, I can go so much deeper with this shit. But yeah, Whoopi, I'm gonna need you to shut up, sis. You can't school her on a motherfucking thing because you have set up here and have tap danced for white people. Okay? You have in your career. Whether you want to fucking admit it or not. And everybody's not willing to do that, bitch.
And when we did have that conversation, and what I said to you, my sweet sister, I said, Whoopi, at what point do we stop saying the next time? Because what was expected. Wait.
No, I know. Wait, Whoopi, you wait. Okay? Because if she would have did what the fuck they wanted her to do, then it would have been some more shit later in her career. Oh, could you do this? Could you do that? Could you? And if she jumps up like a fucking slave, like a lot of black people do, doing everything these white people, because they're white. And I know I had somebody in my family. This was an older cousin, though. Somebody in my family, though, when somebody white would tell them something, they would listen to it like it's nothing. Your black ass could be telling them everything under the sun. You ain't good enough because you white, because you black. It's not the same as when the white woman or white man say something. Let me let these motherfuckers finish, you guys. But Whoopi got me hot over here. She do.
I want to answer it, though. Yeah. I want to answer when you say contractual.
You want to get paid for the publicity?
Please let me answer. Yes, ma'am. Because if I had done something wrong contractually, they would have sued me. The reason why no one could do anything to me contractually, because they found out I did nothing wrong contractually.
That's right. Do you hear that? She did everything she was supposed to do. They wanted her to do extra. Just like at these fucking jobs, they put on another 10, 15, 20 things for you to do outside your job. And it's stupid motherfuckers that actually think you need to jump up and accept that. And it's the same shit in Hollywood. Preach, Monique.
So when they asked me to come overseas to promote the film, when I said, guys, I'm spending time with my family, I'm going to pass. Now, when I make the statement, this is what happens when you don't go to the room. What Tyler Perry showed me, Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, and Lionsgate. When you don't do what we ask you to do, we'll take your livelihood. So for 8 years, my family has suffered and my career has suffered because what I would not allow those entities to do was bully me. And because I didn't allow the bullying to happen, this is now what I sit in.
Okay, we have to go.
And that's right there. See what happens when you say no. And Whoopi still wasn't feeling that because that's not how she would have played the fucking game. But Whoopi, it's not about you. This is Monique. This is her truth. This is her experience. And she did what was right for her and her family. And I believe her babies were really young at the time. She probably really wanted to be there. You know, when you are a mother, you have to work. You know, yes, you do. But at the same time, money is not important, really, you know, when it comes to watching your kids grow up. you know, watching a child that grew in your womb and, you know, being a mother, being there and watching all those first milestones, Monique probably didn't want to miss any of that. And do Hollywood and Oprah Lee Daniel and Tyler Perry? No, they don't care because Lee is gay. Tyler just had a fucking baby, I think he had his baby a couple of years ago, but he's not really the, husband family type. I don't get that from him. Oprah ain't got no fucking kids. You know, she was raped and I think she miscarried the baby, but she's not family oriented. See, none of those people understand family and having a husband and having a child and having children, I should say, in Monique's case, because she has more than one, and wanting to be there with her family. See, when people are not on the same page as you, they don't understand how you operate, okay? You know, matter of fact, they're not even in the same book as Monique because all of them choose work over family any day. And Whoopi strikes me as that type of person too, because I believe she stated in her book that her daughter was raised more or less by her mother and she was always gone a lot. And I think I heard Monique say in an interview that she already did that with her first child, Shalom, I believe that's his name. And she didn't want to do that with her other kids. She really wanted to be a hands-on mother and spend time with them. So when you have people that is not family oriented, they don't understand that and they don't give a fuck. And they're very white and black when it comes to issues. They're just like, no, you just need to do what you got to do. That's what you said you was going to do. And you know what? This whole conversation sounds just like what I said about the job I was at, where they told me, well, this is the job you chose. You shouldn't have chose this job then if you're going to be saying no all the time. So yeah, these motherfuckers, they really talk and think like that. All right, you guys, that's pretty much what I have to say on this issue. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It is your girl Brand New, and I'm out.